pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Good morning. It's an honor to have you all here. And our clergy, welcome.
Thank you.
It's good to have you here. So, you know, Dave, we got to behave today. We all
Come
gotta
on,
behave.
Anthony, we behave every day, right?
Never. You do not behave every day.
Well, this is our 49th meeting of the year. It is Thursday, December 16th at 10:05 a.m. and officially call this meeting to order. If anybody has a public comment, your name and address for the record, and you'll have 3 minutes. Give or take. Anybody care to say anything? No?
Dead silence.
All right. Carol, did you want to move through the agenda?
Yes, and
And
then
then
we'll
we'll-
do
at the
that, and
end?
when we get to when we vote on it.
Okay, okay.
Because there's 3 issues on there.
All right, that
Yes.
sounds good. All right, I need a motion to approve previous minutes of board meeting number 48 and approval of bills for payment.
So moved.
Second,
Roll call.
Commissioner Ditzler?
yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficante?
Yes, journal entry number 1.
Motion to approve journal entry number 1.
Second,
Roll call.
Commissioner Ditzler?
yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficante?
Yes, moving on, we have agreements, letters A. Begin with letters A and B. Mr. Genetti.
Morning, everybody. Letter A is an agreement with the following for the purchase of real property needed for the Western Reserve Road widening project between Market and South Avenue. These are all non-general funds. We have the Gordon Family Irrevocable Trust for $7,090. Gordon Family Irrevocable Trust for $5,110. Leonard Lascola for $2,760 and Raymond Lim for $8,000. Again, these are all non-general funds required for the widening project. Letter B is an agreement with the Shook Company for vehicle damage guardrail repairs at 3 different locations throughout the county in the estimated amount of $9,999, also non-general funds.
Thank you, Pat. And lead, CD, letter C and D. Phil.
Good morning, Commissioners. Letter C is an agreement with Howland Company, LLC for Community Housing Impact and Preservation Program repair work at 139 Gordon and Camel for the amount of $69.55. And letter D is an agreement with Howland Company under the same grant program for 52 Palmer and Camel for $7,205.50, both non-general.
Thank you, Phil. And sanitary, E and F, Mr. Genetti.
Commissioners, letter E is an agreement with Galaxy Industrial Services for industrial cleaning of tanks at various wastewater treatment plants for 2 years in the estimated amount of $20,000, non-general funds. And letter F is an agreement with Rudzik Excavating for emergency sewer repair at 28 Melbourne Avenue in the amount of $25,250, also non-general.
Okay, thank you. Motion?
A motion to approve number 2 agreements A through F.
Second,
Roll call.
Commissioner Ditzler?
yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficante?
Yes, under appointments, we have letters A and B, and I will handle that. Letter A, we'll be appointing the following individuals to serve with the Mahoning County Planning Commission for a 3-year term, effective January 1st, 2022. It's Mr. Lytle, Mr. Zorlinga, and Mr. Marucci. Letter B, appoint the following individual to serve with the Mahoning County Planning Commission for the unexpired term of Angelo Pignatelli, effective immediately until December 31st, 2022, Attorney John McNally. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve number 3 appointments A and B.
Second,
Roll call.
Commissioner Ditzler?
yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficante?
Yes. Resolutions, number 1, additions.
So moved.
Roll call.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficante?
Yes. We've got a lot of signing here. Okay. All right, moving on. Number 2, resolution awards, 2A sanitary. Pat Genetti.
Commissioners, this is award the Mahoning County Metropolitan Sewer District air compressor replacement equipment only. A lot of tongue twisting here. At the Neander wastewater treatment plant in the amount of $124,420. This is non-general and they were the only bidder.
Wow. Okay. All right, thanks, Pat. Motion,
Motion to approve number 2, resolution of awards A.
Second.
roll call.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficante?
Yes, resolutions, letters A through P. And Audrey, I think you will take the bulk of that.
And we do have several individuals related to these, Commissioner. I'll call on them at the time.
Okay,
Item A is a resolution for ARPA funds, COVID relief funds. The first is Economic Action Group with 60,000. And I believe I have. Anthony, do you want to talk on that one?
good morning, Ann.
Good morning, how are you?
Good morning,
Commissioners?
Anthony.
Good to see you.
Appreciate it. Economic Action Group, actually, they and the board staff are over in Campbell and Struthers and working on continuing on this project. This is for a website development that's been discussed with the commissioners that would help with economic development improvements in that area. So appreciate your continued support.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And the next is 1.5 million, 1,500,000. And that has already been discussed with the commissioners. Those are Campbell and Struthers projects with the CIC. Next is 50,000. This is to St. Augustine Society. And I have Father Ed here. And Father-
And Monsignor.
Yes.
Plan.
Monsignor, come on.
Thank you,
Come up here,
Commissioners.
you want to explain what's
Talk
Would you-
about it?
at the podium?
Oh.
Okay, you can come on up.
Our board is represented today by myself, Monsignor Philando, and Mr. Smith.
Do you want to tell them about?
Sure.
Tell them about.
First, thank you. For the last 7 years, people have known us being out on Market Street at Midlothian, and we run Cafe Augustine. And that is a jobs placement, life skills, kind of adapt to the world program for folks that grow up in households that don't necessarily have an employment history and don't necessarily have strong success in their careers. So we take, they start at 16, we work up through their 20s, and basically speak to them as family does. And they work in the cafe, they learn their life skills. They have to be completing their high school at a minimum. And we found that a lot of times they're fine during working hours, but they need a supportive home environment too. And so we took the property when the county discontinued the girls' home on Glenwood Avenue at 2125 Glenwood. We started renting that. As we were renting it, we found that it's an important part because our young people, when they go home now, they have heat. They have air conditioning in the summer. They got running water, hot water, laundry machines, soap, and a staff that mostly volunteer staff, but nonetheless helps them to stay on track. And this is what they need, is stability. We've been doing that for about 4 years, and the nonprofit that owns that property that you had been dealing with decided that they were tired of, they'd run the course of being a building manager, and they wanted to sell it. And that would have ripped the guts out of our program because that's the stability for so many of our workers. We've had over 350 young people in the last 7 years. We've
Wow.
buried
Yes.
We've buried at least 14 of them in that ratio we shouldn't be having. And we've had so many come through the house for varying lengths of times, whatever they needed, that we didn't want to see it lost. And so thanks to you and some other private individuals, we're going to use that $50,000 so that we can make an outright purchase. It won't be sold out from under us. They're good people that own it too. They've treated us well, but we need that stability. Commissioners are giving us that stability, particularly during the COVID time, when so many of our grants have dried up. And at times, the only place that families with vulnerable elderly, that a lot of the guys used to be able to stay with during COVID, they couldn't stay there because of the risk to their elders. And so we function all different ways. And even when we were closed as a cafe, some of the guys, we moved them into healthcare. We moved them into the nursing homes and the other type of jobs and teach them flexibility, adaptability, all those types of things. So we are very, very grateful to you. You're welcome to come out, tour at any time you want to. We're open from 11 to 2, 5 days a week. I've got some other projects dreaming up that we're trying to launch now that we're hopefully seeing the end of COVID. And MasterCard, Visa, American Express, and cash.
They all work.
That's the best, Father.
Any questions? Anything I can help with?
You know, I have to say one thing. I was at our Youngstown Business Women's meeting a month or so ago, maybe 2 months ago, wasn't it? And I listened to you speak there. And you also had one of your resident students, workers from the cafe. And I had been there many times before as a councilwoman and all that, and try to help at that point. And when I listened to what you said to the women, they are very much a partner to this project. Patty Marsico and that group, they are very much a partner. The student that was there, that was aged out of foster care and had nowhere to go, and you took him in, was something that I think it touched all those women in the room. And there was over 100 of them. And it was amazing how he went from that point in his life to having stability, getting a career and becoming a chef. I mean, that, all they need is a little help. And when I saw that, I spoke to you after and I said, please give us a packet, something we could see if it legally we are allowed to do this through the ARP funds. And you did, and it was very good.
Thank you.
And
Yeah.
it was very detailed. And we brought it, the three of us brought it to the prosecutor's office, Mark oversight.
The
And
compromises they have to make just to stay alive, just to stay warm, just to get a night's sleep would break your heart.
well, and you know, the sad part is in the country that we live in today, do we really need to see this? I mean, this is a horrible thing when you have young people. It really, we base all our energies on things that are not basic to what life is all about. I mean, anyway, I'm very happy that Dave and Anthony and myself worked together to get this for you. I mean, like I said, we have a team here. So God bless you.
We'll stay in touch and
And go to the cafe. They got the best cheeseburgers in town.
that's right.
David?
Yeah, Father, and Monsignor, thank you. Mr. Smith,
Yes.
We appreciate you being here and the opportunity to assist because of the great work that you guys do for so many, you know, and Carol is always so passionate about, you know, we need to make sure we always take care of the elderly, the youth, and the disabled, you know, and there's so many less fortunate to us than us that need assistance and need help in some way, shape, or form, you know, just to boost up. And, you know, through the campus of care, you know, that we've been so passionate about when the state legislature shut us down with the YDC and pushed it into our lap. And we were fortunate enough to be able to take that facility over. You know, you guys do such great work there. And, you know, Carol brought it to our attention, and we're hopeful, Monsignor Father, that the city of Youngstown will add into the equation as well, you know, from their ARP funds, because, you know, they've received, you know, double just for the city than we did for the entire county. You know, so we're hopeful that they'll pick up the difference or boost in some way, shape, or form, you know, to assist. So
Thank you.
that's what we're looking for, and, you know, and perhaps something, you know, additional can come out of all this. So thank you so much for your hard work and your dedication, your passion for all of us. Monsignor, we've known you and the family for forever, you know, my family has. So, you know, just really appreciate the great work that you do, not only through Cafe Augustine, but also through Catholic Charities and everything. So thank you.
And I'd like to say as well, and Monsignor Palando, what you do in the community, praying for healing. And just on its premise alone, the decency of human dignity of caring. This would have been a crime for us to overlook not funding Cafe Augustine. based on what you have done in this community. People need water, they need shelter, they need food, and they need to be clean. And if you can give that to a person, that person has a very much better chance at life. And through your efforts and Monsignor's efforts, you're having that happen in our community, because believe it or not, there are those who do not have that. They come from broken homes, they may be addicted, they may have a family member or a parent who's going through troubles who can't even take care of themselves. So not to do this would have been idiotic. And I'm glad this was brought to us through Carol. And we're just so proud of what you do. And we would like to see that expand, because unfortunately, it's a pervasive problem that needs attention. If the government can't do that, then none of us should be here. That's just my opinion.
Thank you.
Thank you for what you do. Thank you. Audrey?
The next is domestic relations courts, $646,847. And I have Dawn here.
Sean? There he is.
Good morning, Commissioners. Hi, Nancy. Judge Smith would be here, but she's tied up in some committee work with the Ohio Supreme Court. So I'm standing here on her behalf, and on behalf of the Domestic Relations Court, we would like to personally thank each commissioner, Nancy, Audrey, all of your efforts, prosecutor's office, Karen, Anna, and all of her efforts, regarding this grant. We can't predict the future, but we can plan for probabilities based upon the past. And this grant award, which is connected to our domestic violence docket, will provide us the opportunity to probably service a minimum of 100 people, citizens of Mahoning County, that otherwise maybe would have had their cases dismissed for failure to appear. So it gives us that flexibility. So there's going to be a minimum of 100 lives that are going to be touched, as well as maybe 100 potential lives being saved a year, for this. Not to mention the collateral damage, that domestic violence carries with it. So this is something that's near and dear to Judge Smith's heart, something that we take seriously in our court. And you're to be commended for working with us on this. It's very important to us. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Dawn.
Item B and C is funding going to the Western Reserve Port Authority. One is administrative costs. Item B is $1,745,000 for campus care.
Thank you. Appreciate the opportunity for a small do-over. I walked in a minute late covering. I'm the board of directors chairman for EAG. I couldn't find my notes on the program that they wrote. They worked with Audrey and Nancy. I want to go back just for a second, the $60,000 grant. It's a client-based database for referrals. Economic Action Groups partnered with the Youngstown Warden Chamber to create a countywide database for client management retention records, looking at service providers to track employment placements and add incentives for local infrastructure and amenities for economic development services. This idea came through best practices through the United States Economic Development Administrative Services. And the database also includes a 4-year database management in that grant. So.
And that's going to be used by multiple agencies,
Absolutely.
Economic development agencies within Mahoning County.
Absolutely. That's a true partnership. So appreciate that. Sorry about that. I couldn't find my note when I first stood up there. The ARPA list, the $1.745 million. And thank you so much. Each of you commissioners, you've been outstanding when it comes to campus care. And it's been a passionate plea for our board of directors. Our chairman, Marty Loney, is out there all the time. Our staff, we spend a lot of time there just because it's such a labor of love, and the constituents, it's near and dear to my personal heart, the people that we're serving out there. So this one touches the heart because I know the lift out there was never easy. And this money is very, very well needed. As you know, the asphalt resurfacing project in the loan is about $700,000. We're going to update the sidewalks, make those more stable, get rid of some of those lift edges so we don't have any tripping, falling. It's safe for our constituents that are out there those ways. Utility upgrades, we have some things still left to do on water, sewer, electric, and plumbing. That's about $120,000. The Atrium Improvements, the new sound system. I think you were at our meeting for the port. The sound systems definitely leaves a little bit to be desired, and we'd like to have more community and public input and be able to have more meetings at that facility. We've set aside some money to upgrade that, as well as anytime we can upgrade the mechanical systems. We also would like to upgrade the 575,000 is to make it so that the 7 residential units are in compliance with Medicaid standards. That's very important for our partners that are out there, that for Medicaid reimbursements, those buildings need to be compliant. And this is going to help us overcome that last hurdle. And then finally, a 10,000 square foot commercial greenhouse that's going to, again, we're working with future workforce for opportunities for those that need that sort of care. So we really passionately appreciate everything you do for that campus.
It's the wraparound services.
Great work, Anthony.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So yeah, I think that they estimate that 250 people working on a daily basis and more than 500 being served on a daily basis coming through the campus of care.
Well,
And the
that's,
state shut them down. You know, it's pretty hard to believe still.
and that's true. They shut us down in 2017.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, along, you know, and
It's
just to
been-
add into the equation, the same way they shut down the workshop in Boardman on
Bev
Bev
Road.
Road that we've just repurposed into all of the task force in Mahoning County, BCI, FBI, Sheriff's Department. We've incorporated all the task force into one entity, you know, and as we move forward. But Audrey, I was going to ask, the $1 million the state was supposed to provide for us, have we
Yes.
gotten that yet?
The Port Authority just sent the budget to the state for those items. And it's a matter, we just had to send the budget and we'll start drawing down.
It's in the
Yes.
process.
But the money's there.
Yes.
Process.
But you
All the
know,
money's there.
It's already-
and the sad part about that one is how long did that take to get here? And if
How
that
many
wasn't for,
years? Yeah.
I mean, if it wasn't for Sam Cavelli
Yeah.
and some of his help, I don't know that we would ever receive that money.
Yeah. We have a lot
And
of
what
advocacy.
what a place that should be funded. Wraparound services for developmental disability, autism, the aged, the young people. I mean, you know how many jobs that are gonna be created in that campus?
Yeah.
I mean, we lost maybe 150 with the YDC. But you're gaining probably close to 300 jobs here.
Not to mention the focus on those constituents that are there,
Right.
that are, you know, with challenges. We're going to help get them into the workforce by
Yes.
training them there right on
Exactly.
site.
And you
All
know
the time,
what? And
you know.
and then you use them on site. Their abilities could be used on site as well with lawn care or landscaping or gardening. I mean, these are things that we bring them into productive use for the community. Their families will be aged out. These young people are not children, they're adults, 18 to 30.
You know,
So,
and, you know.
I mean, I could go on
Anthony standing
forever.
Here, I do have to touch base on a personal notice, because Father, you mentioned that, you know, foster children that were aged out of the foster program and nowhere to go and looking for assistance that you've helped so generously, you know, and Anthony, I know he'll get mad for me saying this, but Anthony Trevina is a foster parent and has been for 20 plus years, I think. And you've adopted how many children from the foster program that were at your house?
6 from Mahoning County,
6.
fostered 14.
Fostered 14 and 6 of them are his children today. God bless
I've
you.
got 6 grandchildren from those children.
God bless you, Anthony. You and your wife, you know, have been phenomenal people. You know, there's a lot of people that talk the story, but there's not many that walk like you do. So, you know, God bless you. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Well, I just want to say thanks again. To be a part of this work is a big deal because it's personal.
Yep.
And this should be a model for the country of what you've accomplished.
there isn't
You should be very
anything
proud of
here.
yourself.
There isn't anything in the country similar to this. There may be one close in Chicago, but that's about it.
Thank you.
So we are a model, Mahoning County.
Thank you, Anthony.
Thanks, Anthony.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Audrey?
Item D, a resolution to transfer funds from the general fund to the continuum of care in the amount of 250,000. And I have Aaron and Colleen here. Basically, one of them can talk in regards to the continuum of care.
Okay. Good morning, Commissioners Nancy and Audrey. My name is Colleen. I'm the coordinator for the Mahoning County Homeless Continuum of Care. I just wanted to take the opportunity to thank you for this funding. You know, it's going to provide a lot of gaps in some of the services that we've identified. A bulk of our funding comes through federal and state grants. There's just a lot of stipulations and very specific purposes for it. But we've identified a need for emergency services, so we're hoping to help use this funding to help cover that. So we're not gonna have anybody out this winter that doesn't have a place to go. And we're also looking to start a risk mitigation fund, so trying to keep people with private landlords where they're currently at.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Great. And I can say that our continuum care does a really good job. Very active. Colleen, Erin, Anna, they work with YMHA. We got some additional vouchers in during the year, 45, which had not as strict as the other vouchers, and that was also able to put people into housing and things. So there's a lot of things going on with the continuum of care.
And they're also gonna work with the YWCA. Is that
Yes,
correct?
yes. Yes,
Okay,
so this
good.
is additional funding to help their initiatives. Did I get to the end? No?
Nope.
One more.
Couple more.
Letter F.
Okay. Letter E, the resolution, to transfer funds from the general fund to the dog warden fund in amount of 250,000, and this is mainly to help with cash flow. Also, there was a staffing need there, and so this will help with the issues within the dog warden's department. And then item F is a resolution to transfer funds to the Community Improvement Court in the amount of 500,000. The Port Authority also works on the commissioners with this. This is to go along with the 1.5 that went for Struthers and Camel, but this is to give other economic development opportunities to other areas and other businesses that may not fall within the guidance of the ARP funds.
Okay, very good, thank you. Pat?
Commissioners, letter G is a resolution approving a moral obligation payment of $1,350 to Penn Ohio Ceiling. This is for the final emergency repairs on South Raccoon Road, which resulted from a collapsed storm sewer. We were successful in obtaining Ohio Public Works Commission money to cover 90% of the project. So this is the final part. And letter H is a resolution approving a moral obligation payment of $23,250 to Penn Ohio Ceiling. This was for emergency repairs to North Lipke Road, which were caused by a fully loaded concrete truck that overturned on the road and damaged the roadway.
Thank you. All right, letter I. Karen?
Good morning, everyone. This is a resolution to approve a hire in the microfilm department, and this is a vacancy that was created by a retirement. Thank you.
Thank you. Jobs and Family,
Good
Audrey,
morning.
good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. Audrey Nancy, Job and Family Services. This is a resolution approving the inter-county agreement with Auglaize County and accept the inter-county transfer budget request to release $100,000 in TANF admin money. Letter K, Job and Family Services. This is resolution approving the appointments of 3 full-time positions of customer inquiry support and 1 full-time position of cashier for the child support division. And on a humorous note, I'd like to thank Audrey for having the name Audrey and me having the name Audrey, because I get so much recognition in the community. Telling me what a great job I am doing for the commissioners, how I am managing the budget, and what a phenomenal job I am doing as the director of JFS and as the budget administrator of the county. So I thank you, Audrey, for
And
that.
Audrey, on the other side of the coin, Audrey Tillis is mad that both your names are Audrey because she gets all the JFS complaints.
Thank you. And you had a beautiful Christmas party. Thank you for having us.
Thank
It was very nice, very nice. Okay, and prosecutors, Gina, good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. Audrey Nancy. This is a resolution we're requesting to approve the moral obligation payment of $5,000 or $5,133.55 to Ohio Desk for Purchased Equipment. The reason for the request for the moral obligation is the vendor, unfortunately, but fortunately, delivered the equipment so fast that we did not have an opportunity to get a purchase order. So we are requesting that we pay the vendor for the services of the equipment that they
Tell
provided to
Paul to
us.
write a personal check.
Yeah.
Jimmy, you
Good
caught
luck with
that, didn't you? Okay. Thanks, Gina. Now, Mr. Fortunato, letter F.
Good morning, everyone. This is a resolution of necessity. What we're doing for 2022 blanket PO for the purchase of office supplies, janitorial and furniture. What a blanket does is eliminate the need for multiple requisitions, purchase orders. And this is for all the county departments. The boards participate as well. And what this does is achieve economy of scale discounts for everyone through the cooperative purchasing program.
Thank you, Jim.
Sure.
Sanitary, N&O, Pat?
Commissioners, letter ends in agreement with GPD Group for professional engineering services on the Western Reserve trunk line rehabilitation improvement. It's improvement number 510. This is the main trunk line that goes from approximately Western Reserve Road cross country to the Warden wastewater treatment plant. The estimated amount is $378,185. Letter O is a resolution to enter into an agreement with American Compression and Industrial Maintenance Services. This is for emergency repairs to our oxygen compressor, the aftercooler equipment at the Meander wastewater treatment plant. This is critical equipment that enables the pure oxygen to be entered into the waste stream as part of our treatment process at Meander. The estimated amount is $143,055. This is being done per the Ohio Revised Code, section 307.86A2.
Thank you. And letter P, Sheriff, Mr. Iberis.
Good morning, everyone. This is a resolution authorizing participation in the NTGOV cooperative purchasing program. Just another avenue to participate in state purchasing.
Joe, did you see the legislature passed a bill yesterday that said that they're going to move with eliminating concealed carry permit requirements in Ohio? That now you don't have to have any concealed carry permit, you don't have to have any training, and you don't have to notify the police when you're pulled over that you have a gun. How about that? You know, I mean, and without, I don't know, that's just blows my mind. Makes it more difficult for police officers. God bless the job you guys do.
Motion?
Motion to approve number 3, resolutions A through P.
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficant?
Yes, for the good of the order, any elected officials or department heads care to comment? Here on the screen.
Just the piano.
It's the piano guy.
I'd like to recognize duly elected Township Trustee, Mr. Santos. Welcome to our meeting.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas to you.
You guys too.
Same to you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
How come Tara's not allowed to come? She's on the screen.
Anthony,
Oh,
I like this.
Audrey.
I do.
Absolutely.
I can
Go right ahead.
even though I talked enough today, I think already. One, I just want to thank the commissioners. Look at everything that you've done with additional funding with ARPA funds and even some of the reallocation of the revenue replacement monies that we were able to put into the general fund for some programs that would not have qualified for the ARPA funds. You're working to give people not necessarily a handout, but a hand up. You're working on the business side, but you're also working on the social services side, making sure that individuals with these dollars have a chance at improving where they are in life and providing housing stability, you know, homes, job stability, things like that, training. Some of the money that's going to be happening, that's going to the YDC properties, some of that money is going to be where they're going to take individuals that are on DD and actually train them. They're going to be staging some of the buildings to be like a hotel where they would then train the clients to be able to work within a hotel environment and stuff. And then the kitchen, and we have the kitchen equipment going. So all those things are working in a way to get people back into the workforce and planning a way for it. And so me and Anna were talking about it, and we're just really proud that you've evenly distributed these dollars between business, between social services. You know, some went to the county, but majority is going out into the community. So you've done an excellent job in our allocations that you've done so far. So I just wanted to say that.
And thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you and Anna and your team with prosecutors. I mean, we may bring it to you,
But you got to
but
say
of
yes.
course, we may bring you all of the packets that we receive when we're out on the road, like, I want to apply for that, fine, bring us something.
Right.
And then, of course, where's Mark Diapolito?
He had to leave.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, he probably didn't want to wait.
No, he had a hearing at 10:30.
We give him this packet, Audrey will call him, she said, it's Audrey, I think we
Sharon
can
and
fund
Laura,
this.
Yes.
And she says, no, we can't do that right away. She says, we have to go to the prosecutor's office. I said, oh. But
You know, with
thank God we got the team in place and everybody's got a little bit of help and I'm a happy camper today, my projects.
And Gina, just on the prosecutor's note too, I got a call from Frank Fuda, Trumbull County prosecutor. And there's an hour of my life I'll never get back,
They're my morning coffee every
So,
morning. I watch their
and-
Facebook Live.
and spoke to him and we were talking about the ARP funds. I told him that I was gonna put together a list of, what we've gone through and done. And he said, we're way behind because we have to hire an attorney to see what's legal and what's not legal to do that. And I said, well, our prosecutor does everything. And he said, our prosecutor won't touch it. And I said,
Wonder
well,
why?
I told him we would send over a list to show him and we would give him that the 4 categories that we met on to show, where the focus needs to be and how, we can get through the gauntlet, and he was very appreciative because they really have no assistance there. So
See, that's the sad part is they have the same group that we do, structure.
Mhm.
And I mean, how advanced our prosecutor's office is, Mahoning County has to be proud of that.
It's a
We have a very
philosophy. I mean,
advanced
Yeah.
it's the
prosecutor's
philosophy
office.
of the top. And Paul was always very adamant about creating a full service law firm for this county, and he's done that.
I mean, there's not one question that we have asked that office that we have not received an answer from. I mean,
They're
we
excellent.
might not like what we hear.
Right.
Sometimes, but they're keeping us on
Yeah, we
the
follow,
straight and narrow. We
know.
follow the.
begrudgingly sometimes,
Exactly.
He got mad at me once, I remember.
Never. Never. I never get mad. I'm afraid of you. I get mad at Paul, not you.
Carol, Dave?
Yeah, I would just say that, to Audrey's point, talking about the ARP funds that, this board's and our team has always been a focus of, 3 things with the ARP funds. And first and foremost has been to help people, help people through Catholic Charities, through MyCap, through all the entities that have boots on the ground and that can get to the people that need assistance, whether it's utilities, whether it's food, whether it's shelter, and to be able to provide, for people in need, because that's what we feel the focus has been or needs to be, within our county. We represent 235,000 people, and there's a large percentage of them that aren't as fortunate as us. And the second group is always to help small businesses. Small businesses are what makes all of us successful because, we have so many small businesses that provide a living for, 10, 20, 30 people that live in our community, pay taxes, buy goods in our community. So the focus needs to be on the small businesses. And last but not least, to be able to provide opportunities to create economic development. Working with Pat and Sanitary Engineers Department to make sure that we can expand lines, open up corridors, open up areas that can build homes, that can build businesses, that can thrive and create economic development. So that's really another focus that we need to move in. And we've been real methodical in what we do and how we do it. And I don't even want to say how quickly the money gets allocated. And, and we were able to put $4.5 million into the general fund from revenue loss that the county did. But we as a board have taken the opportunity to utilize those funds to provide opportunity that the ARP funds aren't able to be allocated to. but our general fund, 4.5 million is. So we look at projects like helping the townships, villages, and cities in Mahoning County through projects that they can't get funded, through the community development block grants that have been eliminated by the state. You know, the monies that used to come in that we got to be able to provide for, you know, local communities. Now we can use some of that. So, you know, it's really a chess game that you're trying to allocate to the people in need and the communities that do the best good with it. So, and, you know, one very sad note I have to add before I turn it back to Anthony is that, you know, I just got a call this morning, and that's why I was looking at my phone. A good friend of mine and the town, an Austintown Township employee, he is the head of the maintenance department, Vic Baylog, passed away last night from COVID. I graduated high school with him. He's a Fitch graduate, Austintown guy, and you know, just a great person working in maintenance, you know, and I've been out of touch with him for a while, you know, not seeing him every day because I'm not a trustee in Austintown any longer, but I saw him just a few months back, and you know, it's sad, but you know, it's something that, you know, Carol pushes us on, you know.
I
And we
do.
can't lose focus. I got my booster, I got all my shots,
You're
and, you
purified.
know, doing, you know, and unfortunately, I'm not wearing my mask, but you know, just do what you can to help other people around you, you know, because not everybody takes as many precautions as some of us. So, you know, God bless Vic Baylog and his family. My heart goes out to him.
You know, I just want to echo what Dave and Anthony have said, what we've done with our ARP funds. I'm not going to go over it again, but we have been very good stewards to the Mahoning County residents, whether it's a business money or whether it's social issues. We've been very proactive in Mahoning County, helping the townships. We've already been at a lot of townships where we've already given them money to help them with some of their projects. And Pat, with some of the projects that Pat has for infrastructure, for sanitary, that will bring lines for businesses, that maybe create more economic development and get more sanitary sewers and water lines going out to the county. I also want to say, and as Dave says, I do this every meeting, mask if you don't feel safe in your environment. You know, I hear, and Erin Bishop's here, and she could stand up and talk about this as well, and I know Anthony doesn't mind.
No, you're welcome.
But be very proactive on your surroundings. I mean, I know you hear COVID's up. We don't know the percentages on who had the vaccinations, who had the boosters, compared to what we're dealing with now. I think if you had the vaccination, you did get the booster, you're probably better off with that. Not saying you can't get it, but it's a low percentage compared to where we are. I just feel if you have to get a booster, and that's why I asked Erin Bishop, I know Anthony and Dave aren't upset with that. Erin, would you please tell them that they could go where they could get their booster right now?
Okay, so right now, first I want to say I did talk to Ryan this morning. He's on a call that I should be on, so he knows that I'm here, and I said, well, I'll speak for you. And then I did want to say real quick that they did pass out 2,500 testing kits yesterday at the Canfield Fairgrounds. Now they had to shut the gate because they ran out, but in each case or in each test, there were 2 kits. So 5,000 people got testing kits yesterday. We'll be doing our testing kit giveaway on.
How is the test done? Is it a
So
blood or is it?
no, those are up your nose, but it proctors it for you. So you'll put it on your like smartphone, scan it, and then it like dials in a human like person that's going to talk you through it, and they'll tell you get up a little higher, you know.
Oh.
I know. So yeah, it is
You
a.
jam that into your brain when you get that done. I had one of those done.
So maybe your wife can do it for you.
No way. You'd be in trouble.
No,
I'm glad I didn't go get one.
Right, so for anyone that didn't get them yesterday, obviously, because they, sold out, I should say. So we're gonna do ours Wednesday, December 22nd, so right before the holiday at Eugenia Atkinson. We're gonna kind of go around there. There's a lot of, that kind of ends out the rescue mission. We'll come on Ward Street and do rescue mission. And we're gonna do, we got 5,000 tests, so it could be 10,000, so hopefully we'll also do it on December 29th, before the New Year holiday, depending on, unless if we run out, next week. But and I know Ryan did that too. They did 2 per car, which is 4, would be 4 tests. Because a lot of times families, I know we've been getting people coming like, hey, I'm having a bunch of people over, those that aren't vaccinated, we'd like them to test before they come to our parties. And a lot of people are doing that. I know people look at me like, that sounds stupid. No, it really is legit. And that's really happening because people want to be safe. Last year we didn't celebrate together at all. A lot of us didn't, but this year we have this vaccine, we have the boosters, we have testing kit abilities that we didn't have last year that we could bring home and find out. So, please take advantage of that. Again, the booster, as Carol said, very important to get that booster. I know we just moved down to 16 and 17-year-olds. So look at my own kids who are in that age, they can get their booster now because, you're starting to get a little nervous as you see this Omicron. They're saying, the regular 2-dose Moderna isn't fighting it, but that booster is truly your way out of that. I know it gets frustrating. I get it. But the truth of the matter is this is new to all of us, and I learn about things just as same time you do. We don't get no little like, hey, give you a heads up. I was reading things before I walked over here today. I mean, just is that's how quickly. But in anything, we have nothing to compare it to. It's new. So that's how we learn each day. And that our goal, myself and Ryan, is just to keep everybody safe. And if the best thing you could do, again, is to, wear your mask if you need to, if you feel uncomfortable, if you're in a closed setting. It's different outside, where I look at football games, it's a lot different than going to basketball games. It's a little, it changes it up. So
When is your booster?
so thank you. Getting on back to that. So today we are at Metro Assembly Church, which is on South Avenue, right across from the old Brown Derby there by Mooney. That is from 8:30 to 3:30. Tomorrow we're at Eugenia Atkinson Rec Center from 8:30 to 12:30. They have their breakfast with Santa on Saturday morning. So we were kind of helping. We're gonna be setting up and all that. And then, say next.
So do you have the Moderna booster there?
Yes, we have Moderna, Pfizer, and Johnson & Johnson. So you can get
Wow,
all
okay.
3. If you want to switch it up, you can do that. We also do the flu shot at the same time. So you have your choice. I will tell you next week, Monday, these are all at 8:30 to 3:30. Monday, we're at Metro Assembly. Tuesday, we're at the Temple on Elm Street. And Wednesday, we are at Eugenia again. We'll be doing the giveaways in the parking lot where people could drive through, but the testing, they'll need to go inside to get, like I said, all 3 boosters. We also are doing first shot, second shots. There's still people out there getting it for the first time. I think people are getting a little nervous. As you said, you knew someone that died. One of my brother, his friend's daughter, 23, 23 yesterday passed away.
My neighbor's in the hospital. She had both shots.
Right,
And
I
she's
know.
gonna almost be put on a ventilator. She's
It's
been-
scary.
Did you get the booster?
Yeah,
Huh?
the booster.
Booster?
I don't know that, but she did get her 2.
Well, Aaron, thank you for
Yeah.
being so accessible because
Absolutely.
you do a much better job than Ryan Teacack
You know what
does.
he said to me? He
You know,
said,
a much
I asked
better
him to
job.
come on too.
You're
He
much
did say-
more, you're much more accessible, you're much more user-friendly. And you know what I attribute it all to? The fact that Ryan is a supporter of the Communist Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And he's a Steeler fan, not a Cleveland fan like us people.
Yes.
You
So
know,
he wanted me to tell you.
he's out of that state. If he stayed in Ohio, he would be more,
I'm with
he would be more accessible and do things better, like you do.
Yeah, so he wanted to say that he was gonna match the money you're giving us if you become a Steeler fan. I said, listen, I'm a Browns fan. I don't really want to tell him that because you're my friend, Ryan. I will, so I promised I would tell you.
He sends me pictures of his little boy Jake, with all these Pittsburgh jerseys on, right? And I said, why is your son bald? And I said, that you have a lot of hair, he's bald. I said, you know what? God's not gonna let hair grow on your son's head because he's a Steeler fan.
All right, now that we got that all done. We're through.
All right.
Okay.
Well, in closing, we will not have a meeting next week, so Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, all of that. I want to thank all of you. Monsignor, Father, thank you for everything. Everyone in the room here, and I got to give a shout out to my man, Anthony Trevina. I was his guest the other night at Whitetails Unlimited Wild Game Dinner. So Anthony is a connoisseur of wild game. So I'm sitting next to him and I'm pretending I like, but I'm not going to really eat it. He's putting bison, he's putting boar on my plate. You got to try this, you got to try the duck. And I actually did enjoy some of it, but I could not eat as much as Anthony. So Anthony, I mean, you're unbelievable with this wild game.
He's a machine. Anthony's a machine. I too want to say Merry Christmas. I forgot it's our last meeting. I wear my Christmas ties and I always end the last meeting with the Grinch, so, but there's still a lot.
Imagine that.
There's still a lot of Toys for Tot boxes out there. There's a lot of opportunities because they're so short of everything that's needed for people and for kids and for families. The class of 76 in Austin Town is given to a few more families that we were trying to find names of over the weekend, but so please do something for someone else before the holidays because we're all in this room more fortunate than most, and please try to help someone less fortunate. And Father, Monsignor, thank you so much for all your amazing work that you've done for a lifetime.
And pray for us.
Absolutely.
So, and
Save our
Anthony,
souls.
You say I
everyone.
need it.
You need it.
I need it. Good. You stop the mass and wait for me to come in, don't you, when I'm late? I see you do that.
Our Nancy, our next meeting,
It's gonna be Wednesday, December 29th, right here.
Christmas will be over. Okay. Thank you all. Motion,
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
roll call?
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yep.
Commissioner Trafficant?
Yes. Thank you.
Hey.
I'd like